Kelly Dale with Off the Beaded Path. I have a studio location in Forest City, North Carolina, and I have a website called offthebeadedpathbeadstore.com. Thanks so much for joining me today because we are going to do almost a part 2 from last week's video. So if you missed last week's video, I showed you how to make a ring using an 18mm Mood stone. I loved how the ring turned out, and in that video I said I would show you guys this week how to make that into a bracelet. So if you missed last week's video, you're definitely going to want to make sure to either look below the video here in the description box where you're going to get a direct link to that video, or Sammy can put one there or there, hopefully a little card that you can click and go straight to that video, because I'm not going to waste your time going through the process of how to encase that again. So if you missed that, make sure to click below or click up here or up here to get that little card. Where it will take you straight to that and show you how to make it and the supplies that you need to make it. Now, in addition to that part of the piece itself, you are going to need some 2mm leather. I'm going to use about, about 12 inches of leather. I'm going to be using some crimps, a clasp, and then I'm going to be making some little tiny beaded beads. So let's go ahead and get started with the project, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the crimps you're going to need to finish off this piece. As you can see, this is the bracelet that I'm going to show you how to make today. Again, it uses that same stone that we used in last week's video, and you'll recognize this one from last week's video. And you can see the only thing that I've done different is I have not made the little strip on the back. There's no need for the strip because we're making it into a bracelet, not a ring. So I have the encasement completely done there, and I'm ready for the next step on that one. Now you'll notice here I also have a little bit of my size 15 seed beads, and then you are going to need 2 of these little ring crimps. So like this one here is a 6mm tube and 5mm ring end. I sell these for a 6-pack currently for $1.65, and that's the SKU that's on our website. So this is what they look like, and I'm going to show you how to use those. You're also going to need some jump rings. I like to use the oval jump rings here for this part. And then regular jump rings for the end, but you can use all of the same if you just have round, whatever, it doesn't matter. And then a clasp of your choice. Now I'm also going to show you how to make these little tiny beaded beads to embellish the piece here, so it just looks a little, gives you a different look you can go with. All right, so I'm going to show you how to do your alterations that you need for this piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, since I was here on the bottom, I'm going to stitch back up to come out of any of my size 15 seed beads, or my size 11s, I'm sorry, here on this outer edge. So I'm just going to stitch up to come out of any one of these silver ones. All right, so you can see there, now I'm coming out of one of those beads, and I'm going to use my size 15 seed beads. I'm going to pick up 8 of these. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I have 8 beads here of my size 15s. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and pick up my little jump ring at the same time. Coming out of this size 11 seed bead here, I'm going to skip one 11-0, and I'm going to come through the next 11-0, so that it is going to make a little loop here with my jump ring attached. Now, what you want to do is you want to go through and reinforce this one more time, at least one more time. So what I like to try to kind of do, if you can do it, because it's going to be really tight at this point, is I like to try to stitch down through the next Delica here. And if you can't get through it one way, maybe go in another direction. Well, maybe I'll go this way. There we go. So I'm going to go through that bead, pull it through. Then I'm going to start working my way back. Again, it's one of those, it doesn't matter how you get there as long as you don't see the thread. And I'm just going to pull back out of that one there because it's easier just to do it that way. Alrighty, and you can see I need to come out right here, so I'm going to go through just a couple of more beads here to kind of get myself in place. Okay, and I'm going to have to come down through this one. So that now this gets me back to where I need to be. And I'm going to fight with this one for a minute, but once I get through that one, then I'm going to come through all these beads again, and then I'm going to stitch around until I'm coming out opposite. So I need to come out right over here to this silver one right over here, so that I'm going to do this same thing on this side over here. But you know it, when I turned the camera off, I was able to get right through those beads with no issues. So anyways, you can see now that I have stitched through these beads to come out of my bead here on the opposite side. So again, I'm going to pick up 8 15s. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of those beads. And then I'm going to pick up my jump ring. And then I'm going to skip an 11 and come through the next 11 here, so that once I do that, now I have it here on opposite sides. So just like I did this side over here, I'm going to go ahead and reinforce this and then tie this working thread off because we're done with the center component. Okay, so before I go any further, I'm going to go ahead and cut my leather. I have 12 inches of leather, and I'm going to cut it right here at the 6-inch mark. Another way you can do is just to fold the leather in half and then cut the leather in the center. Whatever floats your boat. You just do it however makes you happy. Okay, now I'm going to take one of my pieces of leather and I'm going to run it through the open section of my jump ring that's on one side of my piece and get it centered. I want the leather to be centered there for this little connection. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to take the other piece of that leather, slide it through, center it, so that it's going to look something similar to this. If it's a little off, that's okay. You just don't want it like really, really, really off on this side. So just slide it till they are even. Now I don't want to go ahead and put my ends on. I actually am going to go ahead and make my little beaded beads to put right here up against to kind of hold this in place. So to do that, I'm going to use 2 colors of a size 11 Delica. So I'm going to be using the same color of blue that I used here to do this encasement, and then I'm going to be doing a galvanized silver here for the other color. And I've already made a little strip so that you can see kind of what we're going to be doing here. We're going to be doing a little odd count peyote strip, and we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 beads along each side. So I have my needle threaded with a new piece of thread. And to get started, I'm going to be picking up 2 blue, 1 silver, and 2 blue, just like this. And I'm going to zoom in here. Give me just a second. All right, so I've got my beads here. I'm going to bring these down, and I'm going to leave myself about a 6-inch tail thread. Now this is odd count, so you can do whatever floats your boat on the odd count peyote, but I'm gonna do the method that I'm showing you here. So I'm gonna pick up a blue, I'm gonna skip a blue and go through a blue. I'm gonna hang on to this. And if they don't sit right, make them sit like they're supposed to here. There we go. You want them to sit just like that. Okay, pick up a silver this time. Skip a silver and go through a blue. Put your finger on it there so that it holds everything in place. And then we pick up a blue. I go under this little tail thread here, making sure that my bead stays on this side of the thread. And then I'm going to come back through that Delica one more time. so that it pops my bead in place. So now I'm going to work regular peyote back across. So I'm going to pick up a blue, come through the silver, pick up a blue, come through the blue. I'll be working in the other direction, so I pick up a blue, go through the blue, pick up a silver, go through the blue, and you'll notice here I still have one bead left to add. So this is where we pick up a blue. I'm gonna go under this tail thread here. Again, I wanna make sure that the bead does not go under the tail thread. The bead is gonna stay to the right here of the bead, or it's just gonna stay to the right, better way to say it. And I'm gonna go through that blue bead again. Okay, so now you can see I have 3 beads on this side and 3 beads on this side. So I'm going to continue this same stitch until I have 9 beads on each end. You'll see now that I have 9 beads on this side and 9 beads on this side. But I've got to continue one more row here. So I'm going to put on a blue, go through the silver, and then put on a blue and go through the blue. This way I'll be able to zip the 2 pieces up. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a needle onto this shorter tail thread that I've got, and I'm going to get rid of that thread. So I'm just going to thread my needle. And stitch through the beads in several directions to get rid of the thread. Remember, it's that old adage, it doesn't matter how you do it as long as you don't see the thread. So I'm just going to stitch through several directions here. And then get rid of, I can see it here. There we go. Then I'm just going to use my little handy dandy cord thread cutter and get rid of that short tail. Now, this is where we are going to take and kind of pinch together our sides here of our leather. I want to pinch them together, and then I'm going to take my little piece that I've made and wrap it around the leather. Now I want a tight hold here on the leather because I don't want this little piece to move. So I want a real tight connection, and this is what this is going to be. So my thread is currently coming out of the bead here on the left. I'm going to take my needle and come through the bead on the right. Then I'm going to come through the bead sticking up on the left. The silver bead here on the right. The blue bead on the left. The bead here on the right. And then I'm going to go up through the same bead just right next to it here on the left, and I'm going to go up through the bead so that it will connect those 2 beads together. And now, ooh, look how pretty that is now. Now that will connect and do an infinity link so you don't see where you started and where you ended. So I'm going to stitch through this little connection a couple of times and get rid of the thread. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here on this side. So once I have my other beaded bead done, then I'm ready to finish up my piece. Now this is where a ruler is going to come in really handy, because you're going, whatever size bracelet you need, when you lay this onto a ruler, it's going to be the same size basically as what you need. So say you need a 6.5 inch bracelet, I'm going to put the center of my piece here at 3 1/4, and then I'll see kind of how much I need to cut off on each end to get the size that I need. Now your clasp is going to take up about 1 inch, so say if I needed a 6.5, I might come into a 3 here and then cut at the 6 on each side. to give myself a little bit more room, or you can even go down. It doesn't matter. I know for me, I normally wear a 7-inch bracelet, 7 to 7 1/4, but I want my piece to be a little bit bigger because I like to wear mine as in a stack like this. So I want it to be able to move easily. So I'm actually going to leave mine exactly how it is. I'm not going to mess with it. And what I'm going to do is I trim the ends, and then I come with my scissors and you can see here, I kind of trim them at a diagonal each side so that they make a little point like this. Okay, and I make sure it's straight. Make sure everything is good to go here. Make sure it's straight. And then I'm going to take and thread on one of my crimps. And I'm going to push the leather up into that crimp there. You can see I go all the way to the top, but not above it. And then if you'll look and notice here on the crimp itself, I have a piece of metal and then an empty space, a piece of metal, an empty space, and a piece of metal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some flat nose pliers and I'm going to flatten out this little middle section here. So I'm going to grab a hold and press gently, and then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to press gently. So I'm going to go from side to side, just pressing it gently down until I know that it's secure and it's not going to come off. So you can see that that's how that looks. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Again, I'm going to make sure it's straight. I clipped them there at the little diagonal. And again, I'm going to grab a hold and I'm going to flatten and then turn, flatten and turn. And each time I'm just doing this so that I keep even pressure onto it, so that I don't have to worry about it coming loose. But you see what a nice finish these crimp ends give your piece. And then after that, you're ready to go ahead and attach your clasp. Well, I have a basic toggle here, and I'm just going to use, I like these little twisted jump rings. You can honestly use whatever type jump ring or split ring that you want. I just open it, attach the first part of my clasp, and close. Okay, and then I do the same thing on this side. Open it, attach my clasp, or attach that in the second part of my clasp, and close it, making sure I get it good and closed so that you can see there how that is going to look, and you can see here on my wrist how it looks once you actually have it on or you have it stacked with other things. So friends, I hope you see how easy it is to make one of these beautiful mood ring bracelets. I have all the materials that you need on my website at offthebeadedpathbeadstore.com. There is no pattern that I wrote for the bracelet, but I do have a pattern for the centerpiece, which was the ring from last week, and all that will be linked below. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Make sure to come back next Monday because I'm going to be showing you a new project using a brand new autumn mix that we have here in the store. So I can't wait to see you, and y'all have a great week. Bye-bye.